Well, I did a thing. About a year and a half ago, I had this glorious idea to pair both statues with cards. You know, growing up, I had a strong affinity for card collecting. Started with Pokemon, eventually did branch off into Naruto. I'll never forget the first time going into a store with my brother, buying some packs, opening them, pulling a super rare card, and just enjoying that experience together with him. Well, fast forward 15 plus years later, and here I am. I still love it so much. And so being able to pair these with my statues has kind of ignited a new passion. And along the way, I went down a rabbit trail of deciding to collect all of the super rare cards that came out for each set. So today we're looking at over 400 plus super rare cards, from ninjas to missions to jutsu cards. It's going to be an amazing journey. None of this collection will include the alt arts that came out for set 20 for any of you that are familiar with the set, but it's going to have everything except for those showcased today. Be sure to let me know in the comment section below what was one of your favorite cards that you saw in today's video. I have quite a few extra super rare cards, as you can see here, and I'll be selecting 5 different random comments over the course of the next week, and you can select 3 different super rares from this lot right here, and I'll mail them to you so you can enjoy them for your collection. If you're interested in any of the cards or supplies I'm showing here today, there'll be links in the description so you can check those out for yourself. But without delay, let's jump in and take a look at this collection. Kicking off today's showcase, I have my favorite gaming playmat featuring all the Tsunade from the series in an awesome playful pose together. I had this playmat many years ago, sold it, but thankfully I was able to reacquire it very recently. I personally don't do this, but I know there are people out there who just collect gaming playmats. Pretty cool, but I know that's not a thing that's for me. The first binder we're going to be looking at is my Ninja Super Rare Collection. Now this is held in the Z Folio LX. This binder I highly recommend to you if you want to check that out. Links in the description below where you can grab those. But here is some of the first super rare ninja cards ever created. We can see the OG from the base set Pato Kage up in the top. And then right below it, starting at the 3rd Hokage, we're going to see the Coils of the Snakes of Series 2. So everything's going to be in sequential order as to when it released in series. I love how some of the cards pair up in sequential order. You have Jiraiya, Gamabunta. This is one of the first 4th Hokage cards that showed up. Here's a crazy rare Ninetales card up in the top left corner. There's also a nice 3rd Hokage, Monkey King Enma side by side. Both of those come from set number 4, which is Revenge and Rebirth. I'm always amazed at how many people do say that they weren't even aware that a Naruto card game existed. You know, I mainly showcase statues on the channel from the series, but I love pairing up cards, you know, side by side with some of the statues that I have. But in the comment section, there's always people that say they never even knew that a card game or a collectible card game existed for people to even get their hands on. Set number 7 came in, which is Quest for Power, having all the Sound Ninja in a row. Then we have the 1st and 2nd Hokage there on the bottom. One of my favorite cards in the whole series is the middle one up here of Itachi standing on top of that pole. And we have kind of the first appearance of Naruto and Sasuke during their fight in the final valley, at least their first fight. That very last card on the bottom right, you can see Kakashi carrying away Naruto after that battle as well. That's one thing I love about having this complete collection all together, is it almost tells a story of the series. Here is some one-off cards they came, I think it was from like the Lineage of Legend set, and we have the younger Sanin represented right there in the center. This is where we can see kind of the story get a little bit confused as to how they're displayed, because they had some sets where they were trying to figure out what to do before Shippuden. As we can see here, it's starting to begin on that bottom right section there, but we have some other cool cards that they made some more forms, obviously, of Naruto and Sasuke again from that final valley battle. But then, yeah, Shippuden starts on this right side. Basically right here you can draw a line and you'll begin to see the time skip happen. Now, it's not to say that there won't be some cards from the earlier Naruto show, but primarily they're going to be themed after the Shippuden series. On this first page, we can see Kazekage Gaara in the center with Deidara and Sasori on the bottom from their attack on the village. One of my favorite cards, again, is going to be right here, is the Tailed Beast mode Naruto, and he's beginning to enter into that form. Such a clean and awesome looking card. For those of you that don't know, Puppet Jutsu is one of my favorite in the series, so we have some awesome representation with Granny Chiyo, Sasori, the Kazekage's puppet, and then another favorite card, or at least the art, is the 4 Tails up in that top section. I believe it just says Tailed Beast mode on the card, but that is 4 Tails as we know it. Now, to my knowledge, as I've said, this is the complete collection of the super rares, but there's no list that exists out there that you could just easily look up and see. I had to do a lot of research in order to find that. So if there's any expert that exists out there, you could let me know in the comment section below if I did miss something, but I hope this is everything in sequential order, so somebody that wants to build their own collection can kind of look to it as a guidance. Oh, here's two awesome cards as well, right? Young Obito and Kakashi. And I apologize in advance if I've said too many times where a card's my favorite. I have so many in here that are memorable that I've pulled personally, and also some, you know, there was a point in the series where I did take a break, so I had to catch up on some, but there's a lot that have such precious and genuine memories from actually pulling these out of packs myself. A random Roshi card up there. And for those that actually played the card game, you'll notice the CM2 Sasuke in the bottom right corner. That easily is one of the most broken cards in the entire game. If you played during when that card was playable, my gosh, if that thing isn't as broken as can be. Now it's time to enter into a new era of the card series where we introduce full art cards. Aesthetically, these cards definitely, transfer more into what modern card sets do look like. We have that incredible looking paint on the bottom there. And then here's some awesome, that's one of my favorite cards again in the series, which is going to be Sage Mode Jiraiya right there. And then up at the top right corner, we have what it would look like if Kakashi and Minato could team up. What a duo that would be if they actually could. And then again, I'm going to say, one of my favorites again, but there's probably about 10 to 20 I'd call my favorites. At the bottom right, we're going to see Itachi's Susanoo there. That is an awesome full art card. You can see the whole thing takes up the entire card, which just looks amazing. This binder right here is my raw collection of super rare cards, but I do have quite a few extras for some of the ones that I do deem my favorite that I did amass in order to send off to get graded so I can put next to my statues and display them. I have so many ideas to pair up cards with statues. It's going to be amazing. There's one of the only super rare full art Zabuza cards up there. I'm digging that one for sure. The non-full art that you see on the bottom right is going to be from a theme deck, so that's why it does look a little out of place, but it is in sequential order, so that's where it would go. This page, oh my god, the love of my life card, Sage Mode Naruto right here. Such an incredible card. I have quite a few copies of this bad boy because I look forward to grading him for sure. I love the Hinata right above him as well, but so many amazing, lovable cards on this left page, and then to go right over to the right page, it's the same dang thing. Set number 25 was themed around the Kage Summit arc, so we have all the Kages here. I have special plans for each one of these to showcase next to my I Am Studios Kage line. It's going to be epic once those are all together. And then, oh my god, the Hallelujah Chorus could jump in as I showcase one of the final pages in this binder. These 2 pages. The amount of value that's here is absolutely incredible with how many rare cards exist and just amazing ones to boot. I mean, you have Minato, you have Kabuto, we have Kisame up there, there is Killer Bee, Sasuke, Susanoo. On the right here, we can see the beginning of the Storm 3 final set, so KCM Naruto, Sakura, Obito, Madara, Nagato. Just an amazing amount of cards on these 2 pages. This is one of the most satisfying pages, I think, in the entire set. What do you think? And to close things out, we have the final tournament set. So I split them apart from everything else. There were these 4 different tournament sets where they had a lot of chibi looking themed cards here. Some of them were for specific conventions, I believe that they came from, but most of them are from the individual sets themselves. So I split these apart, even though they kind of released at different times. I wanted to have these all separate together because they do look cool, having all these chibi arts from the super rares. You have the full art super rares at the bottom right there with Nagato and Naruto. On this very last page, we have some full arts that were included from the tournament series later sets and some other convention exclusives there on the bottom left and center section. I also want to mention I haven't completed my collection, but there is these black and gold cards that came out during a certain amount of sets. I think it was maybe 6 or 7 sets. And so these I eventually plan to complete, but these are really incredible looking the way that they did theme these. Extremely difficult to get in good condition because scratches show so easily on the way that these were foiled. Thankfully, I have no interest in grading these in the future, so as long as I can eventually complete this set, I'll be happy and get those in the back of the binder. Now, the whole Ninja Super Rare collection didn't take up a full binder's worth of everything, but it also couldn't fit the other Super Rares that were included in this series, so I have a second blue binder that is for the Mission and Jutsu Super Rare cards for the set. Again, if you're looking for a good binder to house your cards, please use those links in the description to check those out. I highly recommend these. But jumping into, we have the Jutsu cards first. So with these, they didn't actually have every set where there were Jutsu cards. Sometimes they skipped them or they didn't have any in the specific set. So I won't go over which one belongs to which set. We'll just briefly do an overview over these. But some really cool ones in here that I do plan on grading. Only a few of them I plan on grading that are really going to go with specific statues. At first, I wasn't sure if I did want to keep the Ninja and Jutsu mission cards together and again, keep them in sequential order by series. I am glad that I split them up though, because the look of all the Ninja cards together are undeniably amazing. Feared by Genjutsu, that card I just pointed out, is one of the best ones that they had as far as the looks, their aesthetics go. As far as cards that I plan to grade, there are really only two in the set that I'm after. It's going to be one with Gar, where he's surrounded by his sand shield after a Senbone needle rain came down on him. That's going to go with a specific statue by Iron Kite Studio. And another one is the Death Reaper seal with Minato in there as well, that we'll see right there. So that card's going to go with my GL Studios, where we have him with his Death Reaper behind him as well. So I can't wait to see those get graded and be able to showcase them. So this ends the Jutsu cards, and it's going to go right over to the mission cards here. So there's definitely not a lot of missions compared to the Jutsu, and even more so compared to how many Ninja cards that they created. Unless you were someone who played the game, typically pulling these cards kind of felt like a troll, like you could have had a different super rare, but you ended up landing with a mission card. I mean, some of them are cool and again, very playable and necessary, but from a collector's standpoint, pulling these are definitely less favorable than if you did pull any kind of Ninja cards. So almost what, like 5 pages of those, so not much at all compared to the previous sets. Now, this is it for the Jutsu and mission cards, but I do have an extra special thing, as I mentioned before, that here is, we're going to be seeing all, or at least most of, the pack arts for each of the series here. For most of the early sets, they actually had alternative art packs, so they have the main one and a secondary one that go together and complement each other. So like for this pack right there, there's one that I'm missing for it. And so eventually I do plan to get a full complete collection where I have, 2 of each of the pack arts that were included. But for now, it's just a money thing. I'm slowly trying to acquire them and not break the bank while doing so. Honestly, having all of these unopened card packs alone is a pretty costly venture. Part of me wishes there was still, quite a demand to watch or see some of the Naruto CCG card sets, because I could dream of having a video where I open, one of each card pack from each set. So we go through all 28 sets and the 4 tournament sets and get to see, cards open from all those series. That would be an incredible video to do. I'm not sure it would be warranted to open that much. I mean, you're talking, that might be $1,000 to $1,500 video when it comes to all these different packs and acquiring them. And they're increasing over time as it is, especially these later ones. Oh, this one right here, right? It had the alt arts inside of there, the Tales of the Giant Sage. Those are crazy expensive. But the later we get with these, the more rare they become, I believe, because they were just printed less overall. And here's my favorite card pack right here, the Sage's Legacy. Now here's a crazy story. The owner that I got this from, he got it 99 cents. I don't think he bought it for this, but when he got it, this had a sticker on there, right? At one point in time, they were liquidating these cards and selling them off for 99 cents. That is insane to think about, that they had, not enough demand was out there to sell them, so they had to liquidate them. Here's another KCM, amazing looking artwork for that final set. And here's our tournament packs. And one of the last card packs I found is like a booster set where it includes sets from like 4, 5, and 6. It's only got like 4 cards in there. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. And just to cast a vision for what's to come for Naruto cards on my channel, I did complete all of the last set for the Naruto CCG, so I can't wait to showcase that one day. It's one of my favorite sets that they did. And also, I'm going to be sending some cards away to get graded. So we're going to be taking a look at me sending those out in the process of receiving them back, seeing what the grades are. I can't wait to showcase those and finally get them displayed next to my statues. So for now, I hope you enjoy the rest of my content and enjoy these videos right here. As always, do what you love and love what you do. Bam out.